Hello, this is Kevin McCauley, your healthy omnivore, and today I'm talking to you as your lifestyle coach. And what I'd like to talk to you about is the third part, or the third installment of the 3 big mistakes that people make when they're trying to attain optimal health. We've already discussed the major challenge that people create for themselves when they're trying to attain optimal health with real food. And we've also discussed the primary challenge that people create when it comes to proper movement. Now, I'd like to discuss with you one big mistake that people make when it comes to an improved lifestyle. And really, it's more of just a philosophy. It wasn't that long ago that most everybody believed that we had our own health and our own individual health was under our own control. Unfortunately, today, that isn't the message that's being conveyed. And it's unfortunate. I personally wished that when I could go to the doctor, that our health care in the United States would give me the opportunity to be able to choose if I wanted an allopathic physician, if I wanted a complementary medicine physician, or an alternative medicine physician. That isn't happening. Unfortunately, most of the times you end up seeing an allopathic medicine physician, and primarily their form of medicine is drugs and procedures. There's nothing proactive. It's all reactive. The days of actually speaking to somebody that was a doctor that was going to be able to tell you, okay, so what are you eating? How are you working out? Tell me a little bit about your lifestyle. Those doctors are hard to find. It's easy to find doctors that don't believe that there's anything you can do with your nutrition, that don't believe that actually exercise is going to help that much, and they don't believe that your lifestyle is that impactful on your health. That's why they're all about drugs and procedures. So, that being said, you're up against it a little bit if you're not looking for a complementary medicine doctor, which would be my recommendation. So at least that way, they're going to have an understanding of some alternative medicine, and they're also going to understand alternative medicine or allopathic medicine, and so you're going to have options. And don't ever go to a doctor and not get second opinions. You need to do the research on your own, because depending upon the type of doctor you go to, you pretty much know what their reasoning behind how they're going to treat you is going to be. And I'm really discouraged by this, because I believe, let's say, there are a couple different things that you could be doing right now that would be proactive to improve your health. And let's go through those just very quickly. The 2 most important that I believe things that you can do to improve your health would be to deal with chronic stress and to improve your immune system. Now, the 2 ways to do that, or 2 ways that you can do that to improve your health: improve your sleep and get the proper amount of sunlight. I can't even remember the last time I had a doctor talk to me about sleep. And I'll tell you for a fact, the doctors in this country, the majority of them, are making people sun phobic. And there's nothing wrong with the sun. There is something wrong about being burnt, but there is nothing wrong with the sun. But let's go back to sleep very quickly. If you want to recuperate, if you want to recover, if you want to rejuvenate, whatever it may be that starts with RE, think about it. You need to sleep. I mean, if you work a muscle, what do they say? Well, you need time to recover. Well, let's say when you're eating, when do those organs get a chance to actually recover? When you're sleeping. Your life is full of chronic stress. When do those glands get to recover? While you're sleeping. So it comes down to, if you want to reduce the chronic stress in your life, and it is a killer, if you want to get your endocrine system under control, your cortisol levels down, you will need to create a lifestyle of proper quality of sleep and the proper quantity of sleep. So, How long? Well, I'd recommend, everybody's different, but I would recommend in a span of 7 to 9 hours. And whenever you can and you feel your body needs it, get some rest. Even if it's 10 to 15 minutes, get some shut-eye. As far as the quality, the longer you can stay in a dark area with no disturbances, with no synthetic light, the better. Why? Is because this is proactive. This is actually helping your organs, your glands, all those systems work at a high level. So if you have any inclination to have a life that's high quality and high quantity, you do need to work on your sleep regimen. Now, secondly, proper sun exposure. You know, it's really unfortunate that we haven't learned from the people before us, the tribes, the cultures, our ancestors, who actually did pretty darn well with the sun. And the reason that some of those cultures have done so well is because when you get the proper amount of sun exposure, it turns to vitamin D, and vitamin D actually fights cancer. But what do? Ooh, it's not sun burning that's the problem, it's the sun is the problem. So people are walking around, they're entirely covered, their entire body entirely covered. And if not, they just lather on the sunscreen. Unfortunately, the sunscreen is causing more cancer than the sun burning. Have you ever looked at what's in that stuff? Causes free radicals, cause you all sorts of estrogen issues, and those chemicals are stored in your fat. So it's nearly impossible to get them out of your system. It's a real challenge, but you need to think about it this way. I know that I'm in the minority when I say this. You need to be getting sunlight as much as possible that is safe. And by that I mean, if you have a darker skin, you're going to need more to get the benefit from the vitamin D. If you're lighter skin, you can actually just get a little bit. Now when I say a little bit, I've seen all sorts of numbers, 5 to 30 minutes a day. They're actually proving now and showing now that you need more over more areas of your body, that just your hand and a little bit on your face and your feet isn't going to cut it. So what you need to do is you need to get, it's just like saying, I want to train you on how to do a squat. If I put you in a squat rack, let's say, and I say, okay, that's 315 pounds, it's on your back, go ahead and squat. You'd go, you got to be kidding me. Well, it's the same thing with the sun. You can't just get a bunch of sun exposure if you have super light, pale skin and real light hair. Hey, you might only be able to handle 1 minute at 11 a.m. in the morning. But that's okay, just don't burn. Let your body adapt like you would with the squat. Then once you recover, go back out, see if you can get 2 minutes. And then just keep getting a little bit more. So then you're up in the zone where you're in the 10 to 30 minute zone. Now, but there's all sorts of variables. It's not only your color of skin, it's also your age, it's the latitude, it's the altitude. So these are all different factors that can actually cause you to burn faster. But it is clear, the primary way for us to fight cancer is the sun. And that's just the way it's been set up. So it's really unfortunate that we demonize the sun when we should be demonizing sun burning our skin. So, are you getting the proper sleep to let your body recover and recuperate? Remember, if you don't do that, don't be surprised if all of a sudden you become obese. Don't be surprised if all of a sudden you get type 2 diabetes. Don't be surprised if you have some sort of metabolic disorder. You weren't recovering. How do you expect your body to cope? And when it comes to the sun, you're going to have to get some. Now, this is beyond the scope of what I want to discuss with you now, but hey, let's be honest. Not everybody lives in an area where they get sun, and so there's some things that you need to do. I will also say that they've actually proven for a fact that if you're, let's say, super heavy, they're actually having a lot more difficult time getting the vitamin D to actually be a benefit from the sun. So you actually may need more, and that's for another day. But look, it's going to be beneficial for everybody, even depression. The sun is great. So sleep, sun, proactive approach to improving your health. All right? So this is Kevin McCauley, your healthy omnivore with the Self-Health Care Club. If you have any questions, let me know. And hopefully I'll be talking to you soon. I hope you enjoyed this 3-part series on the 3 mistakes that we make that actually create challenges for attaining optimal wellness.